Okay, so hi everyone. Alright, so for this topic, today we will just, through this video, I will be talking about circles and its uniqueness. Basically, the geometrical aspects of a circle. So, first, we have a quick review on lines, whereby we have a distance formula. So, benda-benda ni semua kita tak boleh dilupakan, because distance formula, the midpoint and your internal divisions are all used up until now. Okay, so you must be alert with these formulas so that when you solve problems later on, it will help you in the long run. Alright, so this one I won't go through much. Okay, then just remember back that in your form 4 at maths, we have learned about the formula regarding the straight lines. So basically, the one that we learned was y minus y1 equal the gradient times x minus x1, whereby, please remember this, a lot of students make mistake about this. Y and your x, this is a variable, the thing that we are going to find for. Okay, the y1 and the x1, that would be your coordinate that you choose for your straight line. Okay, so what are we going to revise back on? So yes, I know this topic may seem very challenging to some, but hopefully through this video you guys can get a better understanding regarding these few objectives. So first, we have to determine the equation of a circle. Okay, then how from the equation we are going to determine the center and the radius of the given circle. We are going to find the points of intersection between the two circles and a circle with a line. So basically, the points of intersections can be between two circles or one circle with a line. Okay, and then when with line, it can intersect between 2 points or it can intersect 1 point only. See, so you need to get that idea. And then you will also learn through this video how to find the equation of tangents and normal to a circle, and also how to find the length of the tangent. Okay, so this one you cannot just eyeball it, you have to, how do you say it, visualize. Okay, kamu mesti kena visualize. If you don't visualize, then you cannot solve the questions. Okay, so without further ado, this one is the basics. We revise back on the parts of a circle. Dalam bulatan ni, what is the thing that you must know about? Okay, so if you hear my voice is very low, it's because I am recording this at Taman Tepi Dewan Pendeta. Okay, so hopefully you guys can like increase the sound volume, anything lah. Okay, so parts of a circle you must know is the tangent. What is a tangent? When we are mentioning about the tangent, it means that it is a straight line only intersecting the circle at one point. Okay, when we mention tangent, that tangent is a straight line that cuts or intersects with the circle at one point only. Okay, alright, so what is a segment? Segment is a chord and a part of the circumference, which is the green color part there. Okay, alright, so next, arc. You need to know the formula that we learned before, the length of arc, the theta over 360 benda tu kan. Okay, you go and revise back on that. Okay, what is a chord? When we are mentioning about a chord, basically we are mentioning about a straight line that cuts 2 points of the circumference of the circle. Okay, so it is not the radius, because it is not the diameter, because it does not intersect at the center point. It only cuts at 2 points on any point of the circumference of the circle. Okay, so for the diameter, a diameter is a straight line that passes through a center. Okay, so radius, obviously you kena tahu lah what is radius. Radius is from the center to any point on the circumference or the perimeter of the circle. Okay, so first, when we are mentioning about general equations of a circle, a lot of people get confused. You think that this is something new, but actually it's not. Remember back the formula that we learned in Form 4, your coordinate geometry. We learned about the equations of a loci. Locus. What is locus? Locus is when, contoh, kamu ada satu titik. Kita dah belajar dalam physics kan, rotational motion. You have one point or a ball whereby you spin it vertically, you will notice the formation of a circle. So the locus of that point would be the circle shape. So that is what I mean by locus, a moving point which creates a shape. So the general equations for a circle is quite easy. You just remember that we have one circle here. Okay, let's say we have a circle here. The center is here. Okay, titik tengah dia, center. Okay, we want to find the locus of that point which move equidistant from a fixed point. Fixed point here refer to your center. The equidistant length would be your radius. Okay, so from here we can say that use the formula of the distance. We know that radius squared can be equal to x minus h squared plus y minus k squared. So you will ask, what is h, what is k? H and k is basically your center point here. So contoh, sini adalah x and y. Okay, so cari distance radius tu macam mana kita buat? We remember back the formula just now. We mentioned about distance, square root x2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared. But here we do not want to put in the square root. So where did we put the square root? We place it here on the r. We have r squared. So r squared equal to x minus h squared plus y minus k squared. That is where you get the general equation for the circle. So it's not rocket science, it's actually something that you have learned before in your form 4. We are just reapplying it now back into this syllabus. Okay, so this is the general equation. There is another special case where your center is the origin. So when your center is the origin, it will be r squared equal x squared plus y squared. Why? Because your h and your k will be 0, 0. So that one I won't write here because that one is referring and derived from this part here. So you don't have to think much about that. Okay, so what about another general equation where we have learned? Okay, with the one with the x squared plus y squared. Okay, now you need to know from this one. We have another general equation of a circle which is x squared plus y squared plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c equals to 0. This is another general equation of the circle. Okay, maybe you think like macam pelik je, but actually this general equation is based on the distance formula that we used just now. Okay, so just now from the distance formula, the x minus h squared thingy, that one, we can get the idea that we can get the center and also the radius, the value of radius and your center. But for this general equation with the gx, fy, all those, you also can do the same, because sometimes they don't give you in that completed the square form. This, the red color one is like a completed already one, whereas the black color one, that would be your general equation where you have to complete the square by yourself. Okay, so basically from here we can put the x's together. Okay, now we want to complete the square, so obviously here we can add a g square. Later I will explain to you how do we complete the square in a reverse method. Selalunya kita dapat benda tu and then kita simplify, complete the square and then we can get the value. But now no, we want to do it reverse. We want to get from the equation, we add something, a constant, and then we complete the square from there. Okay, so and then another one will be y squared plus 2fy plus the f squared. So when you add at the left side, obviously you have to add at the right side. Okay, so it will be like this. This is the equation that we have now. Alright, so after that you can just complete the square. X plus g squared plus y plus f squared equals to g squared plus f squared minus c. From here you can get the general thing that for the center of the circle it will be negative g, negative f. Why is it negative? Because you look back at your red color just now, x minus h. So bila dia jadi x plus g is actually x minus negative g. So the negative g is your center. So this is a lot mistake. We see plus, then we say okay, g is the value. No, you have to try to convert it into x minus something. So when x plus g, it actually become x minus negative g. So that's why your center is negative g, negative f. And then your radius, it will be square root of g squared plus f squared minus c. Okay? Kenapa? Same. We base off the red color formula just now. R squared. So R squared now is what? G squared plus f squared minus c. So if I only want the radius, which is r, I would square root g squared plus f squared minus c. Okay? So this is just the general equations of a circle. So if you really cannot remember the black color part of the writing, you just remember the red color one. When you get the red color one, you can derive your own formula with the black color one, and then eventually you will remember that for this kind of formula, you get negative g, negative f, and the radius will be the square root of g square plus f square minus c. Okay, so this is how I explain to you regarding the general equations of a circle. Okay, so settle, determine the equation of a circle, and then determine the center and the radius. That's it. Okay, so let us look at an example. Okay, example 1. Okay, general equation kan. We wanting from this, we form an equation. Okay, so let's see the question A. Okay, question A. Well, question A, center 2, negative 3, radius 5 units. So find the equation. Yang ni, you don't have to use the G, X, Fy thingy. We can just use the general equation. Which one? General equation, the one we learned just now. X minus, okay, I type X minus H squared plus Y minus K squared equals to R squared. This is the general formula that we are using constantly in this topic. So here, H and K is your center kan. So here will be X minus, what is your H? H is 2. So X minus 2 squared. Got one part of it. Now, Y minus negative 3 squared. Don't forget, we are minus then negative 3. You don't put straight away negative 3. That is wrong. Okay? Equals to radius squared, 5 squared. Okay. So next, you simplify it first. X minus 2 squared plus Y plus 3 squared equals to 25. Okay, so this is the form that we saw just now. The one where x minus 2, y plus 3 squared thingy equals to r squared. But in your answer, we do not want to live in this kind. This one is already completed the square punya macam pattern. Kita tak nak macam tu. So what we can do is we expand it. So it will be x squared minus 4x plus 4 plus y squared plus 6y plus 9 equal 25. Then you simplify again. X squared, x there, x squared plus y squared minus 4x, then plus 6y. 4 plus 9 you get 13. 13 minus 25 you get negative 12 equals to 0. This would be your general equation, or let's say the equation of that circle with that center with this radius. This is what we want. So you already accomplished the learning objective of how to determine the equation of a circle. Okay, so what about B? B lagi senang, because we know that the center is at the origin, which is 0, 0. So H and K kita pun 0. So in the end it will just be x square kan. Okay, kalau macam tak boleh, x minus 0 squared plus y minus 0 squared equals to 2 squared, r squared. So x square plus y square equal 4. If you nak lagi cantik, x square plus y square minus 4 equal 0. This is your answer. So ingat, when the question requires you to form an equation of a circle, just remember that you have to know the center and you must know the radius. Sometimes they don't give you directly, so you have to modify with the information that you have from the question, and then you find out what is the center, what is the radius. Okay, alright, so this is for example 1. Moving on to example number 2. Okay, inilah masalah ramai offers. Okay, starting pun macam apa ni, macam mana nak buat. Okay, so here we have the question given you the general equation for the circle. Then they ask you to identify the center and the radius of the circle, which has this equation. Okay, so what do you do is you are reversing, doing like reverse complete the square. Usually complete the square, dia bagi you equation, you pecah, bracket, square, settle. That is you're completing the square before. But now we change it up a bit. We are going to modify the given equation to get another form, okay, whereby it follows the x minus h squared plus y minus k squared, tenggi pula tiba-tiba bahasa Cina, equals to the r squared. Okay, so how do we do this? It's very simple. I'll guide you about this. First, you copy balik lah equation asal. Okay, now we put the like terms together, we separate them. So x squared plus 4x, okay, then leave a space there, plus y squared minus 6y, leave a space, equal, nombor you bawa pergi belakang. Semua nombor yang whole number you campak je pergi belakang, other side. Okay, now what do we see here? We are going to complete the square. So when we mention complete the square, we are going to add, okay, our own numbers, whereby the numbers, okay, we are going to add the numbers, but the numbers must be perfect squares. Perfect squares or squares. Okay, perfect square yang kita macam biasa tengok lah, yang 1, 4, 9 dos. Squares will be like 25 over 4. You actually get 5 over 2, something like that. Okay, you add that number. So here, maybe you don't know, I nak tambah number apa? Okay, so you main-main dengan nombor lah. Okay, here we see, we got x and then 4. You think, what number can we add here? Okay, something related to 4. It would be 16 maybe. So plus 16, you try plus 16, you plus 16 there. Go to your calculator, you open your the polynomial part, you put a equal 1, b is 4, c is 16. Oh, you get something which is imaginary number, meaning that you try another sign, put negative 16. Can you do it? You try to put negative 16. Okay, try lagi. 1, 4, negative 16. Oh, tak boleh juga, tak dapat nombor yang cantik. You try again. So 4, okay, let's think again. What is something to do with 4? Okay, let's try. Maybe it will be negative 4. Okay, we try. Put your calculator. 1, 4, negative 4. I get 0.828. Something I don't want. This is not something that we want when we are completing the square. So, cuba lagi. Plus 4. Press your calculator. 1, 4, 4. Ha, cantik. X equal negative 2. When you see X equal negative 2, means you dah boleh tukarkan dia jadi apa? X plus 2 square. Can you see that? We are completing the square. We are adding a square number to complete the square. Okay, so for the Y pula, okay, something to do with negative 6. Maybe it is positive 9. Okay, we try positive 9. Okay, if you're not sure, check your calculator. 1, negative 6, 9 in the polynomial section. Okay, ngam, dapat X equal 3. So benda ni dia akan pecah jadi apa? Y tolak 3 square. Okay, and then if you still don't believe your calculator, which I don't understand why some people don't understand that, okay, try to expand these two that you have completed the square with. If you expand, you dapat balik yang asal. Okay, means you are on the right track. Now the problem is a lot of people will forget this. When we plus 4 plus 9, don't forget, right hand side pun kena plus 4 plus 9. Why? Because originally 4 dengan 9 tu dia memang tak wujud. Kita yang tambah supaya kita dapat complete the square. So when we add 4 and add 9, we have to add on the right hand side also, plus 4 and plus 9. So this is the theory lah, not theory, this is a method that you need to know. Okay, okay, now plus kat tengah lah, jangan lupa, equals to 23 plus 4 23 plus 4 plus 9, get 36. Okay, sampai sini you already can get your answer. What would be your center? Okay, tulis balik, x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equal to r squared, kan? Okay, so what is your answer? Your center would be positive 2, kan? So negative 2. So your x is negative 2. Your y negative 3. Okay, cantik dia dah. So terus ambil. What would be your radius? Radius would be square root 36, which is 6 units. Try to biasakan diri tulis units, because in a Cartesian plane we use units for their length. Okay, so we use units. So macam tu saja. Ingat, remember the steps. Okay, first step, separate X groups. Okay, not X group, X families and your Y families. Kita pecahkan dia. Oh, remember pecahkan. Okay, you see the first part here, we pecahkan X squared dengan 4X, Y squared dengan negative 6Y. So we pecahkan. Second thing is we add, okay, a square number. What I mean by square number, this is not the exact term lah. Square number usually means that a number that has been squared. Like contoh yang perfect square, we have 1, 4, 9, 16, 25 and so on. Usually we add that because we are completing the square here. Okay, then you factorize, okay, each. What I mean by factorize? Factorize each is x and your y. Okay, x and your y. And then you can get your determine your center and your radius. Okay, so this is the general steps lah I write here for you. Okay, so once you practice more, you must get the hang of this method, because in parabola, okay, which is in another video of mine, your parabola, you also will use this kind of thing. You also have to completing the square to get. Even in your, I think ellipse tak ada kot. I don't remember. But parabola memang ada. Yeah, we complete the square. So this is for circle lah. Okay, I hope you understand. Okay, kita tengok example 3. Oh, example 3 susah Find the equation of the circle with center negative 1, 2, which touches the line. 4x minus 3y minus 10 equals 0. This is the question that I said. They didn't give you the radius. They didn't give you the equation of the circle. They only gave you the center. And they mentioned that the circle touches the line. So when we see touches, the thing that we can imagine is try to draw it. So contoh lah, the circle is here. Okay, the circle is here. Okay, cacat pula circle dia. Okay, center is here, negative 1, 2. Okay, and then let's say there's a line. Okay, we try to rearrange it. 3y equals to 4x minus 10. So y equal 4 over 3x minus 10 over 3. So it's a positive slope, right? Positive gradient. So contoh maybe is here. Is a tangent here. Okay, we never know. This is just like visualization. Remember, when we are solving for geometric questions like this circle, we tend to visualize, imagine, because without imagination you cannot solve anything. Okay, so we visualize it. Okay, now what do? Obviously you have the idea that, okay, now I have the center. If I want to find the equation, I have to find the radius. So how do I find the radius? The radius would be between the center and any point on the circle. So now you will ask yourself, point yang mana yang I akan pilih? I will choose the point here, the point of intersection between the tangent and the circle. And then you will ask, how do I find this point? We can use the concept of perpendicular bisectors. Remember back what you learned last time? Okay, we are taking this gradient here, 4 over 3. We are converting it to find the gradient of its perpendicular bisector. What is it? Means we are going to draw another line macam ni, which is exactly 90 degrees here, so that we can find the intersection between the blue line that I drawn and the black color line. When I find that point of intersection, I can find the radius between that point with my center. When I get that radius, I can find my equation of the circle. Okay, so remember back, M1, M2 equal negative 1. Jangan lupa formula. So your M1 let's say is 4 over 3 lah, M2 equal negative 1. So M2 is negative 1 divided by 4 over 3, you get negative 3 over 4. Kan? Okay, this is just the gradient. Now we are trying to look for the perpendicular bisector. So you can just like perpendicular bisector across the center, which we cross the center. Kenapa nak center? Because we want to find the perpendicular bisector. Perpendicular bisector can be anywhere as long as it's 90 degrees perpendicular to the tangent line kan. But now we specifically want it across the center, means passing through the center. So guna balik tadi, y minus y1 equal mx minus x1. So minus minus become plus lah. Okay, then you will get negative 3 over 4x. Okay, then negative 3 over 4 you tambah 2, you dapat 5 over 4, positive 5 over 4. What is this equation for? Equation this one that we found out is the equation for your blue color line lah. Sekejap, saya guna warna biru Okay, the blue color box here is the equation of the straight line of the blue color line that I draw on the diagram on top. Okay, sekarang we have the perpendicular bisector, we have a tangent to the circle. What can we do is we solved. Tengok malam-malam ni dia macam dia gila sikit kan. We solve for the point of intersection. Okay, how do we solve it? So I use POI lah. POI. Oh, macam debate POI, if I'm not mistaken, it stands for point of interest in debate lah. Lama kan dah tak debate. Okay, so basically we are looking for the intersection. So negative 3 over 4x plus 5 over 4 will be equals to apa yang tadi tu lah, 4 over 3x minus 10 over 3. Pindah, tunggang balik, campak sini sana, campak sini sana. Ataupun lagi senang, calculator kamu type terus. Okay, sekejap saya type. Okay, you type the whole equation into your calculator. Okay, then you shift, calculate, solve. Dapat x is 11 over 5. 11 over 5. Okay, now you have your x. Substitute into either one of your equations. Okay, saya pilih yang first lah, yang original bagi. And then I would get what? Okay, 4 over 3 minus 10 over 3, you will get negative 2 over 5. Jadinya we know that the point of intersection now is 11, 5, negative 2 over 5. This is a point that we are interested in. Why? Ni lah point yang saya highlight warna merah titik kat sini tu. That point to the center would be your radius. Okay, so you can find what is your radius. Your radius will be equals to square root y2. So negative 2 over 5 minus 2 square plus x2. So x2 plus 1 square. And then you square root. Cantik sikit lah. Okay, type in your calculator. Negative 2 over 5 tolak 2 square tambah 11 over 5 plus 1 square. Square root answer you get 4 units. Ini barulah dapat you punya radius. So we know that this blue line, the length is 4 units. Okay, but now what the question want? The question want the equation of the circle. So substitute everything that you have from just now. X tolak tambah 1 squared plus Y tolak 2 squared equals to 4 squared. Okay, and then you expand it, then you simplify it, then you will get the equation of the circle. Okay, so that one I won't show you. You expand it yourself. You will get x squared plus 2x plus 1 plus y squared minus 4y plus 4 equals 16. You pindah sini, pindah sana, and then you will get your general equation. Okay, so that one I will leave you to do it on your own. Okay, so you can try that. Okay, so moving on. For example number 4, find the center and radius of the circle blah 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 and the circle blah blah blah. Now, given you the equations, so you are going to simplify this. But a lot of people will say like, alah, I kena macam complete the square or what for this kind of question. When you see this kind of situation, remember back our general equation, we have two. One with the completed the square like form with the square thingy. Another one would be the x square plus y squared plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c equals to 0. We have another general equation of the circle, which is this. So when you see this kind of form, x squared plus y squared, then maybe you are not comfortable with using the completing the square method, so you are going to solve using the g and the f method. We call that gf method. Bukan girlfriend tau. Okay, just gf method. Okay, girlfriend something that kita tak ada. Oh, tak ada. Okay, yang belajar bio faham lah kan. Okay, so A, we have the equation x squared plus y squared plus 5x minus 6y minus 5 equals 0. Looking at this here, we are just going to compare. So here we have 2gx equals to 5x. X cancel kan, so g equal 5 over 2. 2fy equals to negative 6y, so f would be negative 3. Right. Lepas tu you kan tanya, alah cari ni buat apa? Kita kan nak cari center and your radius. Remember back from here, we can see that your C, is it 5? No, it will be negative 5, because in your general equation it is plus C. So when it is plus C, now we get negative 5. So dia jadi minus bracket minus 5. Tak, tengok dah merapu kan, minus 5. So plus negative 5. So you see here would be negative 5, not only positive 5. You must take note of this, because if you are using the formula, the g squared plus f squared minus c square root thingy, okay, you must be alert with your c value, because sometimes your c you forgot to put the negative and then it will cost you your marks. Okay, so now we have your g, we have your f. So nak cari radius, use your formula. R equals square root g square plus f square minus c, correct? So square root. Okay, so you substitute your values lah. 5 over 2 squared plus negative 3 squared minus negative 5. Okay, then don't forget to square root your answer. Okay, then eventually you will get your answer 5 over 2 squared plus 3 squared, negative 3 squared plus 5, square root answer that 4.5. Okay, 4.5, or you can put 9 over 2 lah, it's up to you. So here I would choose 4.5 units. So did I finish answering the question? No, I only found the radius. Where's the center? Ingat balik macam mana nak cari center. When you are finding center, you are referring to the G and the F value. You are referring to your girlfriend. Kalau ada lah, kalau tak ada tu tak apalah. Single kan best. Okay, so You are referring to your G and F. Remember, your center is it GF? No, it's negative G, negative F. So your center here would be negative 5/2, 3. Okay, this is your center, and your radius would be 4.5 units. Okay, now the one thing that you must take note of is the coefficient. What is coefficient? Coefficient is jiran sebelah dia. Notice that the coefficient of x squared, y squared is always 1. So here 2, 2. You must try to make the 2 go away. So what do? You divide the whole equation by 2. So for B, I will be taking the whole equation. Okay, I would divide it by 2, giving me x squared plus y squared minus 4x plus 3y plus 5/2 equals 0. Okay, so this is the formula that I have now. Okay, let's say kamu still tak suka juga untuk gunakan method of what? Still do not like to use the method of completing the square. So here you can compare. Okay, you can compare already. Alright, so we can get that here 2gx sama dengan negative 4x. So g would be negative 2. 2fy would be 3y. So your f would be 3/2. You can get your center. Center negative g, so jadi 2. Negative 3/2. Settle. Nampak? Even if you try to solve it using the completing the square method, you will notice that the answer is correct. So in your exam, your final exam, if you are unsure, you can do both methods. You compare both methods. You check whether your answer is the same or not. When your answer is the same, it means you are on the right track. Okay, so how for your radius? Radius warna biru lah kan? Radius sama square root g squared plus f squared minus c. What's your c now? Your c is 5/2. Okay, then dapat apa? Negative 2 square plus 3/2 squared minus 5/2. You square root the answer, you get cert 15/2 units. Settle. Itu saja. You get your center, you get your radius. That is what we want. That is what the question wants. You have solved the question. Full marks for you. That's it. So remember, dalam circle we have 2 general equations. One is the x minus h squared plus y minus k squared thingy, macam yang kita belajar locus last time. Another would be the x squared plus y squared plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c equals 0. Wah, macam rapping. Okay, but for the x squared plus y squared plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c equals 0, this concept, you must make sure the coefficient of your x squared and your y squared must be 1. So let's say if it's 4, you have to divide the whole equation by 4 to make it 1. Then only you can compare 2gx equals to what x, 2fy equal to what y. Then you find your g and your f. Then you get your center and your radius. Just remember that. Regarding the derivation, which I mentioned just now, yang awal-awal tu yang ni, you can try to practice with the derivation so that you are familiar with how to complete the square. Okay, so you can try that on your own. I did mention a few just now lah. Okay, now find the equation of the circle which passes through the points A, B and C. Okay, now we have a circle and that circle passes through these points, means that these 3 points lie on the circumference of the circle. So when you don't know how to solve it, you refer back to your general equation. What's your general equation? The x, okay, we write here. Always when you start your exam, if you scared you forget, immediately you write down Okay, general equation. X square plus y square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c equals 0. This is your general equation. Therefore, when we are going to solve or we are going to find the equation of a circle, we substitute those 3 points into this equation. Okay, bila kita ada 3 equation yang berbeza, 3 variable yang kita nak cari, what do? Simultaneous linear equations. Okay, just do simultaneous linear equations. So let's say for A, which is 1, 8. Okay, so you substitute all the values, 1 squared plus 8 squared plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c equals 0. Apa yang you akan dapat? You campak sini, campak sana, you get 2g plus 16f, right? And then you plus c. So 1 plus 8 squared will be 65. So you campak ke sebelah, negative 65. Same. Try to make it a habit that the numbers or whole numbers, integers, we move it to one side, the variables to other side. This way we can see the very easy relation between all of them. So second point, B, negative 6, 1. Substitute negative 6 squared plus 1 squared plus 2gx 2fy plus c equals 0. Simplify it, you get negative 12g plus 2f. Negative 6 square, you get 36. 36 plus 1, 37. 37 campak ke sebelah, negative 37. Don't forget your plus c, negative 37. So here you have first equation. Second equation. Okay, kan suka warna lain-lain kan. Okay, tak apa, saya guna warna lain. Okay, warna biru. First equation, second equation dah ada. So for the third equation, same. C, negative 2, negative 1. Substitute the values, negative 2 squared plus negative 1 squared plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c equals 0. Simplify. Okay, simplify. Kamu akan dapat negative 4g negative 2f plus c equals to 4 plus 1, 5. 5 campak sebelah, negative 5. Okay, so this will be your third equation that you are going to use to solve simultaneously. Okay, so you have 3 equations, you have 3 variables. Try to solve it simultaneously. I have mentioned before in my I think it was last semester when I taught the polynomial topic. The polynomial topic, you can use a calculator to calculate your A, B, C thingy, right? So simultaneous equation, you got 3 unknowns, then you type lah each of it. So 2, 16, 1, negative 65. Negative 12, 2, 1, negative 37. Negative 4, negative 2, 1, negative 5. Okay, then you get your answer, your final answer. This one I'm not showing you how to calculate it. Your G is 2, F is negative 4, your C is negative 5. Okay, masalahnya dah siap ke belum? No. What does the question want? The question want find the equation of the circle. Where we are finding the equation of the circle, substitute those values back into your original. So x squared plus y squared plus 2gx plus 2fy. Tak cukup tempat pula, tarik sebelah, plus negative 5 equals 0. Alamak, equals 0. So you expand it cantik. X square plus y square plus 4x minus 8y minus 5 equals 0. This would be your final answer, your equation for the circle. Okay, so this is how you solve this lah. This kind of questions is easy because you already given the info. You are just going to campak sini, campak sana, pindah sini, pindah sana, and then pam, dah settle. So you don't have to think much about it. Okay, So you find the equation of the circle. Okay, let's say if you are really scared whether or not you did it correctly, okay, you get the equation, try to complete the square, see whether or not you get the values. Lagi senang, you get the equation, you substitute any point A, B or C into the equation. It should fulfill, it becomes 0 because it's on the circle, it's a point on the circle, so it should fulfill your equals 0. Alright, now we have discussed regarding the general equations of a circle, how to identify the center, the radius, okay, how to form an equation given a few situations. Now we are going to find out how to find intersections of two circles. Okay, so as I said, we cannot just eyeball a situation. We have to read the question properly, whether they state intersection points with the S means there are 2 points, intersection point mean only one, or no intersection at all. Okay, so here we can solve it by using the simultaneous. Each solution gives a point of intersection. So if there are two, alright, so here we can see that there are 3 possible situations with 2 intersection, 1 intersection or no intersection at all. Okay, so here given the equation, we are point of intersection of 2 circles. So as I said, you read the question, find the coordinates of the points of intersection. Means there will be 2 points of intersection, usually 2 lah, it's either 2, 1 or none. So here we have 2 equations, so we will be solving by using the simultaneous equation method. Okay, so you can notice here, we have x square here, y square here, x square here, y square here kan. Okay, so we can actually substitute x square plus y square equal 4 into equation 2. So you get like 4 minus 2x plus 4y plus 4 equals 0. Okay, so pun pindah sana, 2x sama dengan 4y tambah 8, x sama dengan 2y plus 4. Okay, 2y plus 4. Okay, this is the thing that we want. Always when they given you 2 equations, you try to cut it into a linear form. Okay, this is non-linear because square, right? We change it into a linear form, whereby from this linear form then we can substitute back into the original equation. Up to you lah, either one. Then you can find, because now the main thing that we are going to do is we want to get rid of either the x or the y. Okay, so by getting rid of that, only we can solve it by using the factorization or the quadratic formula and so on. Up to you. So here we have this equation here. Let's say this is something called equation 3. So I would be substituting this 3 into 1. Kenapa? Because once I substitute there, it would be easier since we only have x squared plus y squared minus 4. So x squared plus y squared minus 4 equals 0. So you expand it, 4y squared plus ส六 y 46对吗？加 y square minus 4 equals 0. Okay, now when you see dah jadi macam ni, means you are on the right track. You can find 5y squared plus 16y, 16 minus 4 you get positive 12. Okay, you get this point here. Now you just substitute into your calculator. Substitute into your calculator. You would get 5y plus 6 here, and then another one will be y plus 2 equals 0. So you have 2 values of y already, which is y equal negative 6 over 5. Okay, and also you have another one, y equal negative 2. But this is not a point, this is only the y value. We want points. Therefore from here, substitute to find your x. So you can choose either one because we are now looking for intersection. So if you substitute into either one, it will be fine. Okay, so when you substitute y equal negative 6 over 5 into 1, let's say lah, you get your x will be carilah x you akan jadi apa, let's try lah. Okay, x squared plus negative 6 over 5 squared equal minus 4 equal 0. So solving it, okay, so once you get that, you substitute the values into either one equations lah when y equals to what. Okay, so let's see, let's say like x squared when y equals to negative 2. Okay, so x squared plus negative 2 squared minus 4 equals 0. So x squared equals 0 kan, 4 minus 4, so x equals 0 lah. So we have one point here. The first point we have 0, negative 2. Okay, now another one when y equal negative 6 over 5. Okay, so x squared plus negative 6 over 5 squared minus 4 equals 0. So x squared akan jadi negative 6 over 5 squared minus 4, you get 64 over 25. So your x would be here 8 over 5. Okay, 8 over 5 plus minus 2 tak kira lah, 8 over 5. So this one will give you another point, 8 over 5 and negative 6 over 5. Therefore you have found already your answers, 0, negative 2 and 8 over 5 plus negative 6 over 5. This is your point of intersection. So what if suddenly they suruh sketch 2 circles, tak adalah, susah sangat tu. So you can get these 2 points, the intersection points, you can label onto your diagram. You can get the general equations given already to you, the circles, okay, and so on. Okay, so this is how you solve this question. Alright, so now okay, for this one sama je, find the points of intersection. Means you already know we have more than one, so usually it's 2. So here, what is the difference? Here it is a straight line which intersects the circle. Tapi cara dia sama ke tak? Sama je. Let's say I'm going to substitute the x, right? So 4x minus 3y plus 1 equals 0. So 4x would be equal 3y minus 1. X would be 3y minus 1 over 4. I have this relation, I let it equals to first equation. Oh no, put it into let's say the third equation. So I substitute this third one into the second one. Okay, no, this is not third lah. This one we say like it's the first. Then we rearrange it. Substitute into the x square plus y square thingy, blah blah blah. Then you boom boom boom. Okay, then you dapat lah. Okay, so let's say I'm saying like this: 3y minus 1 over 4 squared plus y squared minus 4 times x minus 6y minus 12 equals 0. So kamu pindah sini, pindah sana, pindah sini, pindah sana. I think okay, you expand it on your own. Okay, then eventually you will get 25y squared minus 150y minus 175 equals 0. Okay, alright, then here seperti biasa, you can like simplify it first. Okay, you divide everything by the 25 so that you get y squared minus 6y minus 7 equals 0. From here, you are going to substitute again into your calculator. You will get y minus 7, and then y plus 1 equals 0. So you have 2 points already, whereby the points have y equals 7 on it and y equal negative 1. Get this, substitute into the equation, either equation, the straight line equation or your circle equation, because intersection point dia akan dapat point yang sama. Okay, so you would get when y equals 7, your x is 5. When y equal negative 1, your x is also negative 1, giving you two points, which is 5, 7 and negative 1, negative 1. Okay, so that is your point of intersection. So sama lah macam yang kita belajar dulu in your form 4. Okay, just remember, you must pay attention to the words. If they say points of intersections, means we have more than one. If they only say point of intersection, we have one only. If they say no intersection, then okay, that is the more difficult one lah. Okay, so you have to try to solve that. Alright, there are some questions in the lecture notes that I do not discuss, and then I think that you can try to do it. Okay, just remember that, remember back your concept and so on. For example 9, if you look at your example 9, they mentioned that find the value of k if the circle is okay. This is just another example. X squared plus y squared minus 2x plus 6y plus k equals 0 kan. They say it touches the line. Okay, touches the line 3x plus 4y equals 16. When they say touches, and then they never say, and then they say hence determine the point of contact. So when they say touches, means it only touch one point. Okay, now maybe you will think that, alamak, macam mana nak solve? I only have a circle equation and I only have a straight line equation. So what can I do? You already know that you are only cutting one point, kan? Because touch one point. Remember back, what is it called? The b square minus 4ac. Ingat lagi tak? We call it as the discriminant. Yes. Remember back in semester 1 during the function topics, we have learned that b square minus 4ac less than 0 means no roots, no intersection. b square minus 4ac equals 0 means they got one intersection point. b square minus 4ac more than 0 means we have two intersection points. So in this situation, you will use the second here. b square minus 4ac equals 0. Then you can find your k value. Same lah. You get the straight line, you make it in terms of x or y, up to you, up to your preference. Substitute into the circle equation. Pindah sini, pindah sana. Substitute into the b square minus 4ac equals 0. Because you notice that your k is part of your c, so you will get your k value. Once you get your k value, you can find your y value or x value. Then you can find the intersection point. And then you will notice that for example 9, they say hence determine the point of contact. Can you see it only mentioned the point of contact? Means there is only one intersection. Therefore it proves to you that you can use the b square minus 4ac equals 0 for this kind of question. Contohnya, tak boleh bayang juga, circle, you have a straight line, it cuts only one point here. That's why we can use this one, b square minus 4ac equals 0. So that's why in geometry topics, you must learn to relate between the basic conic sections that you are learning now with basic function equations, like the one b square minus 4ac and so on. Okay, so you have to remember that lah. Okay, so that's it for example 9. Alright. Alright, so for the next example 10, I think it's the last example. Banyak dah kan macam berpopek kat sini kan. Okay, show that the line does not intersect the circle. So whenever we mention does not, when you solve, You just solve like biasa simultaneously. Tapi jawapan akhir kamu, you akan press your calculator and you will notice that you get an imaginary number, a complex number with the I symbol. Okay, so that would prove to you that X is undefined, therefore there is no intersection between that straight line with the circle. So now the question says, hence determine the shortest distance between the line and the circle. Okay, so now we know that there is a circle and there is a straight line, but they do not intersect. Now the thing that they want is this part here, the blue color straight line arrow that I've drawn. That is the part that they want, the shortest distance between the line and the circle. Okay, whenever you encounter circle questions, same things over and over. Center, radius, mi m2 equal -1. You can find the perpendicular bisector, find the intersection point, find the distance. The things that you see, you notice that the things are always recycled. Center, radius, distance, intersection point, perpendicular bisector, you find gradient, okay, and so on. So you don't have to worry. Whenever circle, you get those things. Okay, so we try here. From the circle, okay, here we know that 2gx equals to 4x. So g is 2. 2fy equals to -6y. So f is -3. From here we can know that the center of the circle would be -2 and 3. Remember, -g, -f, right? -2 and 3. So label lah sini, -2, 3. Find the radius. How do we find the radius? The radius would be square root g square plus f square, okay, plus f square minus c, sama lah. Okay, then you should get 2 squared plus -3 squared minus c. Your c is 9, right? So c squared, you should get 2. R is 2 units. Cantik lah. Okay, so when R is 2 units, you know that your distance, okay, I use red color here. This distance here, you assume is a straight line lah. Cantik kan, straight line. Okay, straight line here is 2 units. You already have 2 units here. Lama sekejap Okay, 2 units. Okay, here, like that, 2 units. So we are wanting to find the blue color part, because there's a distance between the line and the circle. Therefore, the thing that you would think of now will be, first, you find the perpendicular bisector which passes through the center. By finding that perpendicular bisector, you can find the intersection point between that and a straight line. By finding that intersection point, you can determine the distance from that intersection point to the center. By taking that distance, you minus 2. Nanti cakap, Adrian ni merepek apa ni? Tak faham. Okay, it's okay, we do together. The straight line is 3y minus 4x minus 42 equals 0. Rearrange, you get 4x plus 42. Y, you will get 4 over 3x plus 42 divided 3, you get 14. This is the straight line that we had. Okay, so ini yang kita nak je, gradient. So we want to find the perpendicular bisector, we put P lah. Okay, and then straight line go -1. So the gradient of perpendicular bisector will be -1 divide 4 over 3. So -3 over 4. Ini baru gradient. We want the perpendicular bisector that passes through center. So use the y minus 3 equal -3 over 4 x plus 2. Minus become plus, right? Okay, so this is it. Sini dah tiba masanya supaya kita faham apa yang kita sedang buat. Okay, I rearrange sekejap. Okay, this one center lah, you get the center, then you get the center, you get the R. Okay, This one is to find your gradient of the straight line. So itu tak kisah sangat. Alright, so here is your gradient. This is the thing that we want. By finding that gradient, you will find the perpendicular bisector equation. So perpendicular bisector equation would be y equal negative 3 over 4x negative 3 over 4 times 2 plus 3. You get plus 3 over 2. This is the equation of the perpendicular bisector passing through the center, which is something that you want in order for you to solve. Getting this, you can find the intersection point here, because we have another straight line already, right? So we can find intersection point. Negative 3 over 4x plus 3 over 2 equals to 4 over 3x plus 14. So your x would be, you just calculate, campak tekan calculator je, tak payah fikir banyak. Okay, so you get negative 6. X negative 6. When you get your x is negative 6, then you find your y lo. Your y you sub into any equation that you want. So negative 3 over 4 times 6 plus 3 over 2, you get negative 3. So negative 6, negative 3. So yeah, negative 6, negative 3. Okay, negative 6, negative 3. Sekejap there's a mistake here. 4 over 3 times negative 6 kan, plus 4. Oh, 6. Your y is 6. Sorry, your y is 6. Okay, so it passes through that line. Okay, so sekarang you have your x and your y kan. Okay, your x and your y, then you can solve it. Start solving lah. Okay, that is your intersection point. Maksudnya at this red color dot here, this point is negative 6, 6. So you can find the distance from negative 6, 6 to negative 2, 3, which is the center. Okay, so sekejap cabaran. Okay, so I copy paste. Okay, so once you have everything stated there, you have your intersection point, you have your center, you can find that distance. So how to find that distance? Sama lah, distance would be square root y2 minus y1 squared plus x2 minus x1 squared. So then you dapat your answer 3 minus 6 squared plus negative 2 plus 6 squared. Square answer get 5 units. Tapi ini ke soalan yang soalan nak tak? They want the shortest distance between the line and the circle, which I mentioned just now is a blue color arrow. So you have to take 5. Okay, so shortest distance would be 5 minus your radius, which is 2. So 3 units. 3 units shows that that is the shortest distance between the straight line, which does not intersect the circle, with any with one of the points of your circumference circle's circumference. So 3 units. This is your answer. So remember, whenever we are talking about circles, the thing that you should already menguasai is center, radius, how to form the equation, how to find perpendicular bisectors, tangents, and so on. Okay, so this is it. Okay, now moving on to the questions in your tutorial 12. Okay, so I will only discuss a few of the questions. Okay, because nanti video ni dia panjang tau, dia 1 jam lebih. So you all kena redor lah dengan ni. Okay, so tutorial 12 question guide. Okay, so this one, the first question. Find the equation of the tangent and normal to the following circle at the given point. Before this, we learn what? We learn how to form equation when they given center and your radius. Now they give you a equation of a circle. They ask you to find the equation of the tangent and the normal to the circle at a given point. Therefore, question 1A. Okay, senang je. From here, x square plus y square equal 10, you already know that your center is actually 0, 0. Sebab dia tak ada x minus h, y minus k. Center you memang 0, 0. Or we can say is the origin. Okay, so about your radius. Radius lagi senang lah. Radius or your r would be square root of 10 units. Okay, this is it. Now they want the equation of the tangent. Okay, if you cannot imagine, draw the circle. So here is the circle, here is your center, you have your x-axis, y-axis, and then given one point 1, 3 here. Okay, macam mana nak tahu 1, 3 is on your circle? You have x square plus y square equal 10. Substitute it. 1 squared plus 3 squared. Is it equal 10? Yes, it is equal 10. When it equal 10 means it fulfill the fact that that point is on your circle. So 1, 3 is on your circle. Macam tu. Because some people, they would say 1, 3 is here. Dia macam terkeluar, kan? You tak boleh tembak. You have to prove it. So 1, 3 is here. Okay, so now they want the equation of the tangent and normal. So normal tu senang lah. We find the normal gradient. So m of your normal y2. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So it's 3. This one is a gradient of your normal. Therefore your normal will be a line y minus 3 equal m x minus 1. So y equal 3x. Ini your normal. What is your normal? Normal is this one, meaning that a straight line, which is the red color one here, passes through. Okay, tak cantik. Okay, sorry. Gitulah. Okay, faham-faham lah. They cut through the point and also cuts through the center. This is the y equal 3x. This is your normal. Okay, now question 1, normal and tangent. So the m of tangent times m of normal equal -1 because they are perpendicular. Okay, they are perpendicular to one another. Therefore your m of your tangent will be -1 divide 3, which is -1 over 3. Okay, therefore your tangent now, okay, I just pilih tangent would be y minus 3 equal m x minus 1. Simplify, you get -1 over 3x plus 10 over 3. Bam, dah siap. Okay, so that is your tangent. And then your normal is y equal 3x. Okay, so what your tangent should look like is like this lah. It's 90 degrees towards your normal. So the blue color line will be your tangent. Okay, remember tangent is a line that cuts the circle at only one point. Okay, so sama je, you get normal, you find normal m1 m2 -1, pindah sini pindah sana, and then eventually you get your answer. Okay, alright, that is for question 1A. Okay, what about 1B? Okay, 1B dia sama je. Okay, same method. X square plus y squared minus 6x minus 2y plus y plus 5 equals 0.23. Sama je. Okay, now here some people would opt to use the G and F method, GF method, the 2gx 2fy, but I don't want, because I want to show you again how to do the completing the square method. Okay, completing the square. Therefore x squared plus y squared minus 6x minus 2y plus 5 equals 0. First step, what is the first step? First step, we pecahkan dia into the x family and the y family. Numbers throw to another side. Now we are going to add a perfect square number. So let's say 6. Yang I boleh terfikir would be 9. But I'm not sure if it positive 9 or the negative 9. Therefore I will use my calculator and check. Okay, so it's positive 9. Because if you put in -9, you would get 7.24, which is something that we do not want. When completing the square, you want a perfect number, so plus 9. Okay, how about the another one? 1 minus 2, let's say I guess it will be plus 1. Okay, good, it's plus 1. Always remember that by adding these two values is not just eyeballing the value. You are actually trying to complete the square by using that value. So you can use your calculator to check whether you chose a correct value. You just have to remember that that value you chose is a square number. Let's say 1, 4, 9, 16 and so on. So that's it lah. Remember, when you add at the left hand side, you have to add at the right hand side. So plus 9 here, plus 1 here. It will cancel off because initially 9 and 1 not exist. We are adding it. So we add left, we add right. Okay. So simplify, you will get x minus 3 squared. Okay. If you're not sure, calculator. X minus 3 squared plus y minus 1 squared equals to negative 5 plus 9 plus 1. You get 5 here. Okay, so this is the completing the square method that I mentioned just now. Completing the square. So just remember, first step, pecahkan x with x, y with y. Second step, you add a complete number, a perfect square or a square value. Remember, if you add to the left, you have to add to the right. Then you complete the square. Blah blah blah, you get your answer. So from here, you already get that your center is 3, 1. Okay? And then your radius is 5 lah. But they didn't ask you, so you don't have to. This is just extra knowledge. Okay, now we want the normal. So gradient of normal would be from that point 2, 3. Okay, same. You have to test. Is 2, 3 on the circle, inside the circle, or outside the circle? Draw a circle, center 3, 1, test 2, 3. Substitute into your value. You will notice that 2, 3 is on the circle. So 2, 3 here. So we want to find that gradient. So gradient of the normal would be 3 minus 1 over 2 minus 3. Negative 2. This is normal. So your normal would be y minus 3, because you want to pass through that point, right? Passing through that point. Negative 2x minus 2. So y equal negative 2x plus 7. This is your normal. But now we don't want normal. We want also the tangent. So m tangent would be negative 1 divided by negative 2, which is 1 over 2. So your tangent equation would be y minus 3 equals 1 over 2x minus 2. Y would be 1 over 2x plus 2. Settle. So remember, same thing over and over again. Gradient you get you use the concept of perpendicular bisector. After that, you will calculate the equation of a straight line using the y minus y1 equal m bracket x minus x1. Play with the numbers and then eventually you'll get the same thing. Alright. Okay, you digest. Okay, so this one, question number 2. Find the length of the tangent. It's same. For this question, we are going to sketch the circle. We are going to sketch the circle and determine where is the point. Same. We cannot just eyeball. Okay, point dia mesti dekat luar. Kadang-kadang point dia maybe dekat dalam circle tu. Sometimes the point is on the circle. sometimes the point is outside the circle. So you have to test. Okay, so to A, from Q, which is the point, x minus x, y minus 1 squared equal to 9. What is this? From here we can determine the center is 8, 1 and the radius is 3, because square root 9 kan, so square root 3. Okay, now look at the point. What does the point tell you? 3, 6. Okay, so it would be logic to sketch the circle. Here is your center, 8, 1. Okay, now the question is the point out or inside? That is the question here. So you have to find the distance between QC. Okay, QC. So find QC. How do we find? Square root, sama lah. So, okay, and then center is plus, okay, and then 3 minus 8 squared. Okay. So you would get square root 50 for QC lah. Square root 50. Okay, square root 50 is 7.07. Dia sasah dah lebih daripada your radius. Radius you 3 saja. Radius is only 3 units, but your QC distance is already 7.07 units. Means it lies outside your point, outside your circle, sorry. So this is, here is your Q. From there you can draw the tangents. Oh, macam cantik tapi tak. Okay, perpendicular bisector of the tangents. Draw down here another one, because we know, right, another rule in circles, the tangent of a circle with its radius is always 90 degrees. Okay, so we can cut lah here, middle, like that. Okay, now the thing that we want, okay, let's label here as T lah. We want QT. Okay, QT. So how do we do it? We use the Pythagoras theorem. So QC squared equals to CT squared plus yes, CT squared plus QT squared. So now we want QT squared, right? QT. So CT squared minus QC square minus CT square. So QT square is what? We are wanting to find it now. QC square, do we have? Yes, it's 50. Kenapa bukan cert 50? Cos square. Square of cert 50, you get 50. What about CT square? CT square would be 9, because CT is your radius. Remember, CT here is actually your radius squared. Okay, so solving this, you will find that your QT is square root of 41 units. QT is what? QT is the length of the tangent from that Q to your circle. So QT is 41 units. Okay, now let's try B. Same. From B, you have to identify your center, your radius, and your length. Okay. Okay. So same methods. X square plus y squared minus 10x minus 4y plus 12 equals 0. Okay, so now from here, same thing that you are going to do, whereby you are going to here. Okay, here I won't use the completing the square because I know that the gx thingy. So 2gx would be equal negative 10x. G would be negative 5. 2fy would be negative 4y. F would be negative 2. So my center, oh, it's cantik. My center would be 5, 2. My radius would be, using the formula, g squared plus f squared minus c, where your c is positive 12. Cert 17 unit, or cert 17 is actually like approximate 4.123. So approximate 4.1231. 4.1231. Okay, this is the information that we get from the general equation. Now sketch your circle. Sketch circle. The center is here with 5, 2. Now we are going to test whether Q lies on the circle, out of the circle, or inside the circle. So we will have to find QC value first. So QC value will be 2 plus 3 squared plus 5 minus 2 squared, 34. Obviously 34 is more than 4.1231. So that point Q will lie outside your circle. Okay, so let's say approximately here lah, Q, which is your 2, negative 3. Tembak saja. So same, you will have your tangent. Okay, straight line lah. You will have your tangent here. And another tangent here. Connecting the tangent to your center would be the perpendicular bisectors, which 90 degree and 90 degree. This is your visualization. So you get your QC value. Now we want the QT value. So QT squared equal to QC squared minus CT squared. This one is the Pythagoras theorem. So QT would be square root 34 minus 17. In the end you will get cert 17 units. This is your answer. QT means from point Q to exactly the point where the tangent cuts the circle. That is the length that we are trying to find, referring to the length of tangent. Okay, so that's for question 2. And lastly, for the question number 4, find the equation of the circle that passes through the points. So there are 3 points. This is quite similar to the example we discussed just now. So you just substitute at each point. I will not show out, but for point negative 1, 0, you should get negative 2g plus c equal negative 1. So your first equation. At point 1, 4, you would get 2g minus 8f plus c equal negative 17. And at the point of 1, negative 4, you will get 2g minus 8f plus c equal negative 17. For 1, 4 is plus 8f. So when you get all these 3, you solve them simultaneously. Same like the example just now we did. Press your calculator and then at least you get an idea of what the actual values are. So your f will be 0, your g will be negative 4, your c is negative 9. But now the question wants the equation of the circle. So x squared plus y squared minus 8x, or obviously plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c equals 0. So your final answer should be x squared plus y squared minus 8x minus 9 equal 0. So this is your final answer for the equation of the circle. Okay, for question number 5. Okay, for all these tutorial questions, they were checked, and I'm sharing on how do you solve it. Okay, so for question number 5 and 8, which is the last two questions, I will not be showing you exactly all the steps. I will just explain to you. So first, same thing for question 5a. They want the coordinate of the point of intersection of the line L and the circle. So you see points means there are 2 points of intersection. Okay, so first you find the center, you find the radius, find the gradient of the line L, then you substitute that into the circle equation. You get, I think eventually you will get that the line L is y equal x minus 1. By having this equation, you are going to substitute it into your equation, circle equation. Okay, and then you expand it, you will get x square minus 4x after simplifying. Factorize, so you get 2 points, x equals 0 and x equal 4. 2 points here. Okay, now when you have your x, you substitute into either one, and then let's see what the answer is. When x equals 0, y should be negative 1, and when your x equal to 4, your y is 3. So this is the 2 points, but they want coordinates, right? So you write in terms of coordinate: 0, negative 1 and 4, 3. Okay, this is the point of intersection. And then for now, when you are practicing how to solve it, you can try to type the equation into the GeoGebra calculator, and you can see that how it actually works with the equations and all. So this is your answer for A. For B, the equation of the tangents parallel to the x plus y. So parallel means they have the same gradient, so you don't have to think much. You have 2 points just now. So the first tangent, or we say tangent 1 minus negative 1, we will take one of the points. So negative 1, x minus 0. So y equal negative x minus 1. This is first tangent. For tangent 2, y minus 3 equal negative 1, x minus 4. Okay, so you will get y equal negative x plus 7. This 2 is your tangents. Okay, how do I know that I'm using the point of intersection? Because they mentioned the equations of the tangents to the circle which is parallel to line. And parallel means same gradient. You have to know this lah. Okay, so this is your final answer. The steps I'll let you solve on your own. And then always remember, try to sketch the graph, the diagram. So circle with the center mana, and then your straight line, intercept y axis mana, intercept x axis mana. Okay, and so you can get visualization during exam. So for the last question, question 8, ini senang lah. Okay, so for question A, find the center. Obviously the center will be 5 and negative 2, because plus 2, right? So negative bracket negative 2. Okay, so for the length of the diameter, we know that diameter is 2 times the radius. So radius is square root of 5 times 2, so you get 10 units. This is your diameter length. Now for B, equation of the line passes through the center and the point 7, 2. Dia dah bagi cantik lah. So 7, 2, so minus 2 over 5 minus 7, you get 2. This is the gradient of P and your center. So the line that passes through P and the center will be y minus 2. We take point P lah, and my x minus x1. So y equals 2x minus 12. This is your answer. And then lastly for C, calculate the length of CP. So CP, square root 2 plus 2 square plus 7 minus 5 square. You will get 2 sec 5 or 4.4721 units. So you can see that the length of CP is shorter. The length of CP, yes, is shorter than the radius. Radius is 5 unit. CP is 4 point something. So when it's less than radius, means that it lies inside the circle. So you can just write, since CP is less than R, thus the point P lies in the circle, because it's shorter than the radius. So it would logically saying it will be in the circle itself. Okay, so that's all for this video. I hope you have learned something regarding the circle topics. Okay, so that you get a greater understanding on how to solve it, the tips and tricks. Just remember center, radius, how to generate your equations, and so on. Okay, so this is all the video for circles. Okay, hopefully I will do video on parabola. Hopefully lah, if I rajin. Okay, if I malas, then tak adalah. Bye bye. Okay, so that's all from me. Thank you for listening, and bye bye.